Oh my gosh, this channel's growing faster than I can prepare for. I just blew past 200 subscribers before I could, come up with a thing to do. So, thank you all. Welcome. I hope you enjoy what I do every week. And let's jump into it. Today I'm going to take an etymological journey with you. You see, there are there's more than six, but there's 6 plants that all come from the same species. Cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, kale, and cabbage. But if they all came from the same plant, why do they have different names? Well, I'm going to dig into that. Starting with the 3 that are actually all the same name: kale, cauliflower, collard greens. Do you know something in those words? They all sound pretty similar when you just look at the first part, right? Kale, call. You couldn't tell the difference between cauliflower and collard greens. Anyway, point is, it's going to take us all the way back to a Proto-Indo-European root. Kahuli is how I'm going to say it. I should probably learn how to pronounce things in Proto-Indo-European. Kahuli means the stalk of a plant, and it led to the Latin word caulis. Now, this caulis word meant cabbage, and is obviously where we get the word cauliflower. The flower of the caulis. That comes through an Italian word, but through that Latin word caulis directly. That also, the Latin caulis also led to the Old English cowl, is how I'm going to pronounce that. I should probably learn how to pronounce Old English. I've been doing this for over a year, and I still don't know how to say these words in languages that I speak every week. I need to work on that. Anyway, and that caulis word also meant cabbage. We're going to get to cabbage later, don't worry. And that led to the word kale directly, as well as the cole in coleslaw. Cole, C-O-L-E, meant cabbage in Middle English. And the slaw in coleslaw is related to the word salad. And it comes through Dutch, I believe. I looked that up once, but I didn't look it up for this video. I'll correct myself underneath if I'm wrong. So you've got kale and cole and cauliflower, and then collard greens takes us all the way to America. You see, there was a plant called colewort. Wort meaning plant. Same meaning as St. John's wort, which is a plant. I'll dig into the etymology of wort some other time, maybe. But colewort became bastardized in American Southern English as collard. And that's where that word comes from. So there are 3, technically 4 with cole, of the same species come from the same word. It's just been changed a little bit. Now we're going to get into the ones that don't come from the same word. I'm going to start with broccoli because I've actually talked about broccoli on this channel before in my vegetables video from October. Broccoli comes to us from Italian broccoli, which comes from the Latin bracco, which means sprout or shoot. That makes sense because it's a plant, it's got little shoots to it. That bracco word comes from another Latin word, brachus, which means sharp, and that word probably comes from a Gallic word. And that's really interesting to me, as I said in my earlier video, because that's a Celtic word that survived into Latin and then came into English, which I think is really interesting. When you dig into it, even though the British Isles were inhabited by Celtic peoples for much longer than the rest of Europe, or with more of a majority than the rest of Europe continued to have because of Rome, we don't have very many Celtic words in our vocabulary. And it's double interesting to me when that vocabulary comes from the Romans that destroyed the Celtic people in Europe. Moving on to cabbage. Cabbage comes to us from the Old French caboche. And it's interesting that we abandoned cole in English in favor of cabbage, kind of in the same way that we abandoned pig and for pork, and cow for beef, and chicken for poultry when the French came and started influencing our language more in the Middle Ages. I'd never seen that with a vegetable. I think it's really cool. That caboche word comes from the Latin word caput, which comes from a Proto-Indo-European word, caput, and that Proto-Indo-European word leads back into English through the Proto-Germanic. You can really see Grimm's Law in this one. Haubuda. That's a, ooh. If it weren't for Grimm's Law, I'd have trouble with that one. And that leads to the word head. So a lot of the words for body parts in English come through Germanic. That makes sense. Like hands, arms, feet, and legs, and anything else you need to keep in a roller coaster comes to us through Germanic. But it means that the word head and cabbage are related. So when you say head of cabbage, it's redundant. And also that caput word in Latin leads to a bunch of words in English, such as capital being the head of a column, chief being the head of a group, and chef being the head of a kitchen. You've also got words like decapitate and capitulate, and mischief comes from the idea of something coming to a head poorly, like miss, as in bad, and then chief being the same root as chief. So that's fun. All of those words are related to cabbage, which I think is absurd. You can say head of lettuce, because lettuce means milk, of course, if you've seen my third video on the channel about space. And lastly, we have Brussels sprouts. Half related, does anyone else say Brussels sprouts? And if so, let me know, because my wife called me crazy, and it's just the only way I've ever said it. I think it's a holdover from me being a child, and I haven't really eaten Brussels sprouts very often in my life. My parents didn't subject me to that. Obviously, they get their name from that city. They were cultivated there starting in about the 5th century. They aren't only cultivated there, but that's the first place that they really got popular. And I'm sure that the Belgians will be happy to know that the #1 and #2 producers of Brussels sprouts today are Germany and the Netherlands, which I think is kind of funny. Whoops. Same basic place. I want to thank you all again for watching and commenting. I want you all to know that I can die happy because an actual linguist came onto the channel on the Tuckarian video and said I did a good job. So this is all coasting from here. I said I was done at 100 subs. Now I'm double done because I got an actual compliment from a real professional, and I've got double the subs I ever thought I would ever get. I'm glad that you're all enjoying what I'm doing. I can see that you enjoy my more linguistic videos. My Afro-Asiatic video and my Tuckarian video have got over 2,000 views each. So I'm gonna, I don't want to just change what I'm doing and lean into that, but I'm gonna be looking for more things to do that are in that vein for all the new subscribers. And for the old subscribers, my friends and family, I will continue making etymological videos. And I'm gonna say it's for you, but it's really for me. Haha! Thank you for watching, linking. Please like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day. Bye-bye.